what have you learned about first creating video sales letters?
Yeah.
And then also like how creating ones that are able to convert with cold traffic, because cold paid traffic is a different beast in a sense. What are some of the things that you've taken away during this education process, and you've been able to replicate it multiple times with multiple businesses at different niches?
Yeah. So if you're listening, we've scaled 1, 2, 3 companies with, building these like high converting VSL type videos, or commercials for in some situations. Most have been info products or coaching, but we've also done it with a software product as well. I think if most of your audience is e-commerce, I think it's actually easier to sell e-commerce than it is digital products like info products and coaching.
It's because it's a physical, tangible product. Completely. People can see it and they're like, oh. You can
see it, touch it, play with, like there's so much that gets communicated in seeing a physical thing. When you don't have something that you can see, it becomes way more amorphous and I think way more difficult in many ways. I think this stuff is super fascinating because here's the deal, is like when you get into business, you can go so far with organic traffic and joint ventures and partnerships. And this is the thing that we ran into with Foundation is like, I would spend half my year going to events. We'd recruit a bunch of affiliates. We'd do a bunch of interviews. We would build launches around that. It worked great. We made a bunch of money, had a huge impact with it. It was fantastic, but we were always limited at some level. And paid traffic is interesting because like if you can get out of if you can get the systems working, you can go so much faster. The challenge is it's really, really hard to do. It's really difficult to do. And like I said, a handful of these businesses, we've scaled over 7 figures from info products to coaching to software. Things that stand out to me for these types of videos, the core thing is the offer. The offer is like the first thing. And so, and the offer being not just like the offer, there's 2 components to it. It's like the product needs to be unique and special and different. And there needs to be something that has like if you want cold traffic to be working for the stuff that I've done, there needs to be like an impulsive factor to it of like, I want this and I want it now. So there has to be an emotional hook and was hit on a emotional pain point that someone has that is important to them.
When you say that, that's like, just goes straight back to TV infomercials. Almost every single product that they sell has some emotional, impulsive thing. You're like, you know what? I probably should get that now.
Oh yeah, completely, absolutely. I think studying infomercials is the best. Michael Masterson is the dude behind like Proactive and all of this. And I listened to him speak at one point, and he was talking about filming infomercials and like, what is the one thing that makes an infomercial work? And what he said is that there's always a point in an infomercial where there's like an holy shit moment. And you'll see this with, when they have like the tire flex thing and they paint it over the guy's hand and then they drive a truck over the guy's hand. Like that's like the holy shit, oh my God moment. Yep. Or with like the knives where they like cut an aluminum can with a knife and then slice through a tomato. Like it's like those types of little moments are like, it communicates something. And
they're also memeable. There's the one with that tape and they have this like water shooting out of a jug, which almost everyone's seen this thing, and this guy's slapping the tape on it. Yeah. And it plugs it up. Right. And that was such a powerful holy shit moment that it's been memed all over Twitter about, like plugging a hole in something ridiculous.
Yes. It's those types of things are so interesting. Of like, and that's a moment where like the whole message and value proposition and offer gets communicated in that instant. And so when you're looking at if you've got a physical product, those are the types of things that you want to be leaning towards as you're communicating with it. Now, I think it's also really interesting. I've studied Harmon Brothers stuff a lot. Do you follow their stuff at all? You get into their world?
For sure. It's one of those things that you can't not see if you're in a physical product market selling, online. They were some of the pioneers of these long form video sales letters for products. If anyone doesn't know Harmon Brothers, I think one of their first big hits was like Dollar Shave Club. I think they did the Dollar Shave Club. No, actually, I don't think they did Dollar Shave Club.
They did Dollar Shave Club.
They did Squatty Potty, right?
And Squatty Potty.
Squatty Potty.
Yep, exactly. Purple Mattress.
Purple Mattress, yes.
So what's really interesting, when I got my start with copywriting, I went to ClickBank back in the day. And I found the top converting offer in health, in BizOp, and in relationships. And I had the VSLs transcribed, and then I printed them out, and then I dissected the VSLs line by line for each of the top offers in each niche. And when I did that, it became very, very fascinating, because you can start seeing through the matrix. You start seeing like, oh, why did they use this sentence and this question and this storyline? And then you'll see patterns emerge between the three of them. So I did the same thing with Harmon Brothers, where I took their top 3 converting videos and I had them transcribed. And then I looked at the video, and I looked at the audio, and I looked at video, audio, and text, if there's text on screen. And it became super fascinating, because they follow pretty much the exact same blueprint. Same formula every single time. And first 15 seconds, there's something there's shock and awe in the first 5 seconds. It's like a unicorn pooping rainbow ice cream, like in the first 3 seconds. And then within the first 15 seconds, they introduce the problem. And then, they've got it really dialed in. And then the genius with them, and what makes their whole system work, is that they're just experts at using humor for sales. So when you look at a typical infomercial, and you hear the question of like, oh, do you struggle with sleeping at night? There's an immediate sense of like guard that goes up, of like, oh, I'm getting sold to. And so what Harmon Brothers does is that anytime that they would do a typical, like, do you struggle with sleeping at night, they will follow it, or they will insert humor right before or right after. So that when you feel the guard go up, the humor brings the guard back down. And that's why these things are so fascinating to watch. And why people share them when they're commercials. Like, they get so much free publicity because of it.
It's incredible. It's very interesting, because you can't unsee it.